Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining today, Wednesday. Right. You're writing something. What is happening? Are you making your teeth stronger? Or your jaw stronger? Okay, thank you very much for coming. Mitra, Samad, Vishnu, Shriram, Hare Krishna, and Bhavya. We'll see if the others will join. Narayani has not joined for some time. Narayan Lila and Keshava are supposed to join today also. Who else is? Rishika also has not joined for some time.
Prabhu,
Anyway, we're going to start. Yes,
Prabhu,
Hare Krishna.
I saw Naren in temple.
Saw her in temple, right?
Yeah. When?
Okay, so maybe she'll be coming up. Anyway, we shall begin with the Mangala Charana Prayer. Everyone, Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnanantala Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunantam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vyayeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, today we are going to read from the Bhagavatam Tells, New Personality. So who do you think we're going to speak about today? I think you saw this now. Right?
Bhīṣma.
We're going to discuss Bhīṣma Dev. Okay, the little Chinese girl is behind. So we're going to be speaking about Bhīṣma Dev. Okay, so I think Bhīṣma Dev has got only one story. So we're going to be discussing about Bhīṣma Dev. But before we start the story, we're going to take a look at some of the paintings that the devotees made about Bhīṣma Dev. Okay, so here I'm sharing Bhīṣma. So I'm pretty sure that you know that Bhīṣma Dev was brought down in this condition on the battlefield of Kurukshetra by Arjuna. But he did not die. Huh?
Yes.
It is said in the Mahabharata that you could not put a finger between two arrows on his body, meaning that his entire body was covered, more like a porcupine, you know. So actually, this painting doesn't have a complete arrow. So Bhīṣma Dev was thirsty, and Arjuna pierced the ground with an arrow and a mantra, reciting a mantra in order to invoke water, which fell like a fountain into Bhīṣma Deva's mouth. And every day the Pandavas would come at night time and hear Bhīṣma Dev speak. And this went on for many weeks like that, if not many months. So this is Lord Krishna was there also. And Bhīṣma Dev was very much fortunate. Mahajan. He left his body looking at Lord Krishna. Krishna was personally in front of him, and he departed at his own will. And Krishna blessed him that within this condition, he would not experience the pain of the body, nor would his mind be lost. He would not lose his sharpness of intellect. which means he would be able to speak as he was always very intelligent and very full of wisdom. So the same thing here, different scene. You can see the sun setting like that. So the Pandavas here, again hearing Bhīṣma Dev. So we have great sages that are there like Narada Muni, Vyasadev. This way.
Wow.
This one is a very famous scene in the Mahabharata where Lord Krishna took a chariot wheel in order to protect his devotee, Arjun. And here we have Bhīṣma Dev who is seeing the Lord coming towards him. Actually, this painting, of course, the devotees have done nice service, but a more accurate painting of this pastime is this one. Because Bhīṣma Dev was not afraid of Krishna. He welcomed Krishna. He was very happy. And actually, he wanted to be killed by the Lord. He thought, wow, I'm so fortunate. I'm seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead coming towards me. And he's breaking the promise to protect his devotee, Bhaktavatsalya. Krishna is Bhaktavatsalya. He's the well-wisher of his devotees. So now he's breaking his promise to not fight within the war, just to protect his devotee. And just see how Krishna is so beautiful. See the color of his skin, and bluish gray, like a new cloud, with all his jewels, carrying the chariot
It's like
wheel.
the sky.
And Arjuna trying to stop him because, oh, Krishna, you're going to be breaking a promise and people are going to be criticizing you. I cannot bear to hear such criticism of you. Krishna,
Prabhu,
please do not do. Yes.
Hare Krishna want to say something. The
Yes,
smoke
Hare
is
Krishna.
coming out behind. The smoke
The
is
smoke?
coming out. The
Dust, Prabhu, the dust, because
Ah,
Krishna is
yes.
running very fast and the dust is coming.
Yeah, so because Krishna is walking and Arjuna could not stop him. Even though Arjuna was holding on to Krishna, Krishna made 10 steps, walking as if no one was there. So Arjuna was dragged literally by Krishna. And beautiful Krishna in this way, with his drops of sweats coming off his transcendental body looking like pearls, was about to kill Bhīṣma. But there was no hatred. This was actually love. Krishna said that he was feeling the arrows of Bhīṣma Dev touching his body, just like the gopis would offer him flowers. So there was no difference because Bhīṣma was in pure love of God, in a mood of servitor with chivalry. Chivalry. So he wanted to fight against the Lord. That was his desire, and Krishna fulfilled that desire. He wanted to see also how Krishna loves his devotee so much. He said, I'm going to make Krishna break his promise. I want to see him protect his devotee. I want to see his love for his devotee being greater than his own love for himself of keeping his promise. You see, he did not care to keep his promise. He cared more to protect Arjuna. So then Krishna said, okay, here I will break the promise. Are you satisfied now? Like that. So it's a beautiful pastime. And this painting is very, very, very nice.
The column is broken.
Here again,
Oh,
Bhīṣma
now
Dev.
there's so many arrows.
Yeah, so now, again, lying down like this, and you can see that so many people used to come to see Bhīṣma Dev. Pitamaha, he was the great-grandfather of the whole dynasty. He was the most revered personality in the Kuru dynasty. And here he was about to pass away. So Bhīṣma Dev is one of the 12 Mahajan. He's not an ordinary being, one of the 12 Mahajan, the 12 authorities in our universe. And
Again.
this was a remake, another devotee who painted from the original. Okay, very good. So we're going to begin. We're going to begin the story about Bhīṣma Dev. All right. Here I share the screen. We begin. So, Bhīṣma Dev, great Vaishnava. A discourse from the deathbed. The Kurukshetra war has just ended. The virtuous Pandavas won the battle over evil Duryodhana and his supporters. They were guided and supported by their friend Lord Krishna in many ways. After the war, however, King Yudhishthira was overwhelmed with guilt and grief. He felt responsible for the death of thousands of men in the battle. Vyasadeva, Dhaumya, and other sages tried to pacify Yudhishthira by speaking philosophy, but no one could console him. He lamented, I am most sinful. My heart is full of ignorance. I have killed many thousands of men in the battle, including the Brahmanas, friends, brothers, and gurus. I shall surely go to hell and will not be relieved from hell. So, after the battle of Kurukshetra, Yudhishthir Maharaj, being a very pious king, was lamenting for all the death, all the men that were killed, uh, because he went to the bank, I believe it was the Ganji or maybe the Sarasvati, I forgot, and saw all the wailing women. Wailing means crying very piteously, because all the women had lost their husband, their sons, their brothers, their fathers, like that. So Yudhishthira thought, this is all on me, it's my fault. And he says, I've killed many thousands of men. Brahmanas, who Brahmana? Dronacharya, Ashvatthama. Of course, Ashvatthama is not a real Brahmana, but like that, friends, brothers, like Duryodhan and so on. So Vyasadeva tried to pacify him, it did not work. Dhaumya tried, it did not work. Even Krishna tried and it did not work. How come? Actually, Krishna wanted Bhīṣma Dev to speak. So in order to allow Bhīṣma Dev to speak, Krishna made sure that Yudhishthir would not be convinced by his words. A noble Kshatriya king who fights against his evil enemies doesn't incur any sin because he fights for the right cause of protecting the innocent citizens, not out of greed or envy. Yeah. So Yudhishthir Maharaj had no selfish motives at all, and therefore he was not affected by sinful reactions. So that is spoken in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that you must perform your activity as dedicated to me. In this way, you will not be entangled. Tat karma pravartanat, like that. So we continue. But Yudhishthira thought, I sinned, killing so many people, only out of greed for a kingdom. I cannot counteract the pain I have given to so many women whose husbands and sons have been killed in the war. Even Lord Krishna tried to counsel Yudhishthira by explaining that there was no sin on his part. But Yudhishthira was not pacified. Then Krishna inspired Yudhishthira to meet Bhīṣma Dev, the grandsire of Kuru dynasty. Thus, the Pandavas, accompanied by Krishna and the sages like Vyasadeva and Dhaumya, went to the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where Bhīṣma was lying on a bed of arrows. In the war, Arjuna's arrows pierced every part of his body, and since then, he has been lying there. He had been lying there. Sometimes the conjugation is not so good. Bhīṣma Dev, the illustrious grandfather of the Kuru dynasty, was a lifelong brahmachari, celibate, and a great devotee of Lord Krishna. So Bhīṣma Dev had remained brahmachari in order to please his father, Shantanu. Maharaj Shantanu wanted to marry Satyavati, a very beautiful daughter of a fisherman, actually. And the fisherman's, so the father of Satyavati, said that, well, my son have to ascend the throne only, not your son. And Bhīṣma Dev said, okay, then I shall remain brahmachari. In this way, I will never get any children. So you know that your grandson will ascend the throne, like that. So he sacrificed his own sense gratification for the pleasure of his father. And after this vow, he became Bhīṣma Dev. His birth name was Devavrata. He loved the Pandavas and protected them in various ways. Unfortunately, although being valiant and vastly learned, he had to fight on the wrong side against the virtuous Pandavas. It was because Lord Krishna wanted to teach the world the following important lesson through Bhīṣma. Vice cannot conquer virtue, regardless of who tries to execute it. And Bhīṣma played his humble part in the Lord's divine plan by fighting on the side of Duryodhana. One of the other reason why Krishna made this arrangement, so that Bhīṣma be on the opposite camp, is to give Duryodhana the impression that he had a chance to win. Yes? Because if Duryodhana did not have Bhīṣma, Drona, Karna, he might have been scared to fight. But Krishna wanted Duryodhana to fight and bring all the sinful kings with him, because Krishna's duty is paritranaya sadhunam vinashayat chatuskritam. So he must kill all those sinful men, those sinful kings. Therefore, he had to make sure that Duryodhana will come on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Bhīṣma, however, always had affection for the Pandavas as they were righteous. Bhīṣma always wanted to see the Pandavas happy and prosperous. But because of Duryodhana and his associates like Shakuni, Pandavas were put into several trouble. Now the Pandavas have gained the kingdom and became prosperous. Krishna brought them before Bhīṣma so that he could be happy in his final moments. Also, Lord Krishna wanted Yudhishthira to be enlightened by Bhīṣma. That is the reason for Yudhishthira's not getting pacified by anyone, including Krishna and Vyas. Krishna thus wanted to show Bhīṣma's great knowledge to the whole world. Yes, so now Bhīṣma's teaching in the Mahabharata, there's a parva called Bhīṣma Parva. It is I believe the biggest parva in the Mahabharata, and all of Bhīṣma's teachings are found there. Very valuable instructions for the whole humanity. Further, Krishna wanted to make his pure devotee Bhīṣma happy by giving him darshana at the time of his death. Krishna takes pleasure in fulfilling the long-cherished desires of his devotees. So he knew that Bhīṣma Dev would want to leave this world seeing me. Bhīṣma saw the Pandavas very aristocratic and felt happy. The Pandavas and Krishna bowed down before Bhīṣma. At that time, great sages from all over the universe like Parvata Muni, Narada Muni, Bharadvaj, Parshuram, Vasishta, Gautama, Atri, Shukadev Goswami, Kashyapa, and others had assembled there to see glorious Bhīṣma. Their disciples also came with them. So all the sages, they knew that now this Mahajan Bhīṣma Dev is going to speak. So let us go there and hear. Bhīṣma welcomed all of them properly as per his ability. Because arrows pierced his whole body, he couldn't even move. Still, he received all the guests assembled there with his sweet words and hearty expressions. Bhīṣma especially worshipped Lord Krishna, knowing him to be the supreme God. So this is important to understand, that even though Krishna was there 5,000 years ago, only a few understood who he was. Bhīṣma Dev, Vidura, the Pandavas, the Yadu dynasty, like that. But most people did not know. So these people are described as foolish. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadante naradama. So they don't surrender to Krishna. They're foolish. Manushyanam sahasrasyu kaschit yatati siddhaya. So it's very rare someone to want to achieve perfection. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tadvataha. And those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows Krishna in truth. Why is that? Because Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita. Krishna says, I'm not revealed, I'm not manifest to everyone. I'm covered by my internal potency. Guest reception is an essential part of all culture. One should do so to the best of one's capacity. So we saw that Bhīṣma Dev greeted them with sweet words, even though He wasn't a bed of arrow. Here, the bed of arrow is not really well made. It really looks like a bed of arrow, but that's not supposed to be like that. But anyway, so we see that the Pandavas are here, listening attentively to Bhīṣma Dev's instructions, and the demigods are showering flowers on them. Jai Shri Krishna. Seeing the Pandavas overwhelmed and silent, Bhīṣma had tears. He encouraged them. Oh, what great injustices you good people had to face. Still, you all were saved because of your devotion to the Brahmanas, Dharma, and Krishna. Kunti also suffered greatly due to Pandu's death and faced many difficulties raising young sons, even in the presence of Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, Bhīma, the great club fighter, Arjun, the expert bowman, and Krishna's your friend, direct well-wisher. There were many difficulties. I consider all this to be the Lord's divine plan. So accept it and follow it. You should rule the kingdom and take care of your citizens as the Supreme Lord Krishna had desired. So you see, the Pandavas had to go through so much suffering. They were exiled in the forests 14 years. Their wives got insulted. Their kingdom got usurped. They lost all their wealth. Their entire army died, almost all of the army. So much they had to go through. So sometimes the Lord's plan are very hard to understand. But Krishna had a mission. Even amid difficulties, devotees do not give up their faith in God. To show this quality of his devotees to the whole world, sometimes Krishna may temporarily put them into some difficulty, but ultimately he only saves them. After consoling the Pandavas, Bhīṣma spoke about Lord Krishna. This Krishna is moving as a member of the Yadu dynasty, like one of us, but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only pure devotees can understand his greatness. You all thought of him to be your cousin, friend, messenger, and so on. But he is the super soul, Paramatma, in everyone's heart. Although he is equal to all, he is especially inclined to his devotees. So he has mercifully come before me now at the last stage of my life. May he await me with his pleasing smile while I'm quitting this body. So Bhīṣma Dev left his body looking at Krishna, and Bhīṣma Dev's relationship with Krishna is that of a servant. So he went to the Vaikuntha Loka. He did not go to Krishna Loka. He went to Vaikuntha Loka, to the planet where Lord Vishnu is known as Parthasarathi. Yudhishthira then inquired from Bhīṣma about various dharmas. And Bhīṣma explained to him about the duties of different members of human society, the responsibilities of kings, and the responsibilities of devotees. At that time, the auspicious time of Uttarayana had arrived. Bhīṣma then withdrew his mind from everything else and focused only on Lord Krishna, who stood before him in a four-handed form, which was Bhīṣma's favorite. So we can see that Bhīṣma was devotee of Narayan, actually. God reciprocates with his devotees in the forms and moods that they particularly like. Yeah. Mamevate prapadante mayametam tarantite. So as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Bhīṣma then offered his heartfelt prayers to the Lord. My master Krishna has mercifully come to me in my last moments. Let me offer him the gift of my loving thoughts and emotions. Let me have a love for that friend of Arjun, Vijayasaka. His glittering yellow clothes shine in the sun, and curly locks of hair surround his lotus face. Let my mind go unto Sri Krishna on the battlefield, whose flowing hair was covered with dust raised by the horses, and whose face was wet with sweat. Yet, when my sharp arrows wounded his skin, he enjoyed it. So this is the prayer that he offered the Lord. So some devotees serve the Lord in a chivalrous mood and give him the pleasure of fighting. Naturally, the Lord enjoys such kind of worship too. Yes. So Bhīṣma continued, may I have a love for Parthasarathi, the charioteer of Arjuna, who stood with a whip in his right hand and the reins in his left, carefully protecting Arjuna and his chariot. At the Rajasuya Yajna conducted by Yudhishthira, I witnessed him being worshipped by great kings and sages as the most exalted. Thus, meditating on Krishna, Bhīṣma left this world and entered a Vaikuntha planet where Lord Krishna is in his form of Parthasarathi, Arjuna's chariot driver. Celebrating this event, the Devatas praised Bhīṣma and showered flowers from the sky. Then Yudhishthira performed funeral rites for Bhīṣma and was overtaken with grief. Yudhishthira, along with Lord Krishna, went back to Hastinapura and consoled Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. King Yudhishthira then ruled the kingdom in an exemplary way according to the teachings of Bhīṣma and Lord Krishna. Okay, so sorry, it's a bit of a long story. So, the wonderful passing away of Bhīṣma Dev. We have got Rishika that's here also. What are you doing? So, thank you very much for listening to the whole story. So, does anyone have any questions before we continue?
I want you to ask questions.
Samat, are you there?
He's hiding himself.
Okay, so I will ask some questions, okay, about the whole story. Okay, so what was Yudhishthira's mood after the war of Kurukshetra? Okay, Samat, go ahead.
Prabhu, he was thinking that all of the things were because of him. So he was a bit, how do I say? He was a bit disappointed in himself. Like
A bit only.
No. He was very disappointed. He was
Yes.
He was disappointed because he thought that the full war, like the killing so many soldiers died. So then he thought all of that was because of him. So
Yes.
he was very disappointed.
So he was very, very much dejected. He was very unhappy, very sad, thinking that everything was his fault. Yeah, all the killing. Very good. Okay, that's nice. Now, so why is it that even when Krishna tried to console Yudhishthira, it did not work? How come is it that Krishna's instruction also did not manage to pacify Yudhishthira? Who wants to speak?
Samat.
Okay, well, Samarth again.
Yes. So what was the question?
Wow, you're so confident. You raise your hand even without. So, why is it that Krishna's instruction did not manage to pacify Yudhishthira's mind?
Prabhu, because he wanted devotee to talk to him.
Devotee? Who is that?
Bhīṣma Dev.
Yes. He wanted to make the arrangement that Bhīṣma was to speak, like that. Okay, very good. What else can we ask? So, was Krishna angry with Bhīṣma Dev for shooting arrows at him? Yes, Krishna Sudam.
No.
Why is that?
He's just... Bhīṣma wanted him to do that.
Bhīṣma or Krishna? Bhīṣma or Krishna?
Bhīṣma wanted Krishna to take the wheel.
Take the wheel, right? To fight.
Yes.
Why did he want Krishna to take the wheel and fight? Do you remember why?
Because he wants to go back to the spiritual world.
Okay, so that's not exactly it, but it's true that he wanted to see Krishna take up the wheel and fight. Why is that? Okay, yes, Vishrut.
Because of his love. Because he wanted to
Love,
see
okay.
Krishna's love
Krishna's love for
fighting devotees, for his devotees.
his devotees. Very good, Vishrut. So he wanted to see how Krishna is going to protect his devotee, even though if he breaks his promise, huh? Like that. Okay, very good. So there is this. Okay, there is this here. A lesson on intention. Okay. So actions are seen, but the intentions behind those actions are often hidden. One may doubt genuine devotees like Bhīṣma, seeing their external activities, but Lord Krishna always knows their intentions and never misunderstands them. It is he who sometimes engages them in uncommon activities to teach important lessons to this world. And it is he who reveals their greatness at the right time. Krishna revealed how knowledgeable and devoted Bhīṣma was just before his departure. And Krishna personally came to give his darshan to Bhīṣma as he was departing.
Activity.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So, okay. So people could say that, oh, Bhīṣma is going to hurt Krishna. He's fighting Krishna. He's shooting arrows like that. But actually, they have an internal relationship that is not understood by most people. Okay, very good. Everyone go take your bead bags. Time for chant. Rishika, bead bag, Rishika. No more chopsticks in the face.
Are eating noodles or what?
Chanting time. Unmute your microphones and please open your camera. Try to chant loud and clear so that everyone can hear.
Playing hide and seek. What's Vishit? What's Vishit?
Very good, Rishika. You can take your beads. Hare Krishna, take your beads. Hare Krishna. Okay, unmute everybody, unmute. Vishrut, unmute, Vishrut.
Vishrut, monkey, Vishrut.
Unmute. Okay,
Monkey,
unmute. Samarth, unmute. Enough. Okay, enough, monkey. Vishrut is a monkey in the spiritual world. That means he's liberated already. Okay, let's start together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, you beat back. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna, Hare 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 Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Jai Shri Krishna. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much for the nice chanting session. Thank you all for chanting nicely. So I will show you something, but I cannot show it live, so I will have to end the live stream first.
Okay.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Go Pramanande, Hari Hari.